Puma kept it together, maintained his poise, and showed why he's a multiple-time tournament champion.
And for Lucky, it's a little bit of a problem. He did not only lose the last 2 maps against Puma, but at the same time, he obviously lost the semi-final to Pold, another Terran player. And he mentioned before the match at hand, he mentioned that he is not really all that comfortable against Terran. And this is true. If we have a look at his statistics, we have him down with only 48% win ratio against Terran, which is really not a lot on this high-level Starcraft 2 play. Only 31 wins against 33 losses. And the last games that he played, he obviously lost against Pold with 3-1. He lost against Strelok in the group stage as well, we mentioned it earlier. And before that, Tasia took him down 2-0. Even Morrow won a game against him. So it's really a little bit hard for him apparently lately to beat Terran. And I'm not quite sure if that's going to change anytime soon.
Even Morrow won a game against. How could you even say something like that? Morrow just beat Lenok in some really epic games in the NASDL. Didn't you cast those games?
Yeah, I actually did. Okay, that was definitely a little bit of misplaced wording. I hope Morrow doesn't listen, but if he does, I'm sure that he forgives me.
Morrow has got some of the sickest ZvT/TvZ in the world. But you're exactly right. Lucky he's at least recently appeared to be struggling in this matchup a little bit. Puma really making him work here, and thus far, Puma's looked a little bit better.
The one thing that I'm pretty sure that we are going to see, well, the problem that I see for Lucky on Antigua Shipyard, we talked about the map when we had the match about Puma and Stefano at hand, that it's very easy to take the third base, but that you have problems taking the fourth. And the problem that I see for Lucky is, I actually think that he's going to go for some kind of all-in strategy, some kind of aggression, some kind of timing play, because if he relies on the late game, I don't think that he's able to defend his bases. As soon as you take a fourth base and even a fifth, you have to defend the very, very huge range of the map. You have to defend to the right, to the left. It's very, very, especially good drop play, it's very difficult. And Puma has shown that he has
some of the best
quite the exquisite drop play. So I think that Lucky is trying to end this game a little bit earlier and does not want to reach a late game stage against Puma.
We'll see exactly what happens. It is a Reaper opening once more from Puma. Reaper expand. Expect that Reaper to just go pop right up into the main base of Lucky and maybe see if he can kill a drone or two. He tried Reaper openings a couple times versus Stefano with little success. But to be fair, nothing was really working against Stefano, and against Lucky, everything Puma does seems to be working.
Yeah, Lucky is definitely a different opponent. We now have the first Reaper on the map, just crossing in the middle, taking a quick look at the Xenaga Watchtower and heading towards the main base of Lucky. At the same time, the standard transition that we've seen for Puma so many times, but whoa, nice position, very, very well done by Lucky. He knows exactly what's happening, and he's in the perfect position, denies the scouting, and Puma now transitioning into the Hellion plane.
Well, perfect deflection, perfect game sense, rallying those Lings right there to the ledge, so the Reaper wasn't able to get anything done. No scouting, no kills of Zerglings or drones. So perfect opening thus far for Lucky. And I guess we're just gonna have to see exactly what Puma chooses to do. It will be this double expand, or I should say double command center opening.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. He's going for the third command center once again. So exactly the same strategy that he used in the last TvZs. We have now the Hellion production for Puma. And what exactly is Lucky going to do? I still expect him to go for some kind of timing attack. He's now on 26 drones.
Well, he's still mining gas.
There's the Roach Warren.
Yeah, exactly. So he's still mining gas. The Roach Warren goes down. Probably going to be Roachling Bane. This is like the most common ZvT all-in that exists these days. And we've seen just about every Zerg player in this tournament go to it at least once against Terran. So there's a reason so many good players use it, and we're going to see it here on Antigua.
Look at the production tab. We have Puma now immediately going for tanks. He goes straight for tanks, and if Lucky really tries to pull off a Roach and Baneling attack, he is probably going to lose. Sieged up tanks on the high ground are just so strong in order to defend against Roaches and Banelings. Puma is definitely going to be prepared. 28 drones so far. Let's see what Lucky's going to do. He's only building the 10
roaches.
10 roaches right now.
Roaches. No Banelings. Yeah, so it looks like it might maybe just Roach Speedlings. Lucky scouted the researching tech lab, so he has to suspect siege mode being on the way. So, I mean, for this to work, he's going to have to. It's going to be tough. Are there any tanks out? One tank is out. No additional tanks in production. Bunker going down at the choke. at the top of Puma's ramp, so
he will definitely be able to shut it down. This is kind of NMrUUG style that we've seen quite often. If you want to punish a Terran player who is going for 3 bases early on and tries to skip the tanks or actually delay them a bit, then roaches are the perfect answer. But Lucky is now just running into the siege tank, and the siege tank at the top is going to be sieged up in time. This is going to be brutal. This is going to be a slaughter.
Yep, siege mode just finishing. We can see that this tank does cover the entire ramp, and already Roach is taking some damage. So Lucky having to rethink this game
Hello
plan.
and bye.
Takes 1 shot and backs off immediately. So not an ideal situation to be in if you're the ZerG player. Lucky just responds by taking his 3rd base and kind of going back, and he's going to make a more defensive posture. Puma's economy is going to be great, though. He's getting double E-base, so he's going to have those upgrades going, and I guess he's just going to be playing bio tank here on Antigua Shipyard.
Lucky is trying to end it early, and Puma, as Ben just pointed out, has now 3 orbital commands, 3 mules at his disposal. He can stay on 2 bases for a while before he takes his 3rd base and 3rd mineral line of this. And this is going to be really, really difficult for Lucky to change. He needs to come back into this game, and he's only on 42 drones against 50 SCVs, so the economy for Puma is actually great. He has an awesome income, not only in regards to his minerals, but also his gas, and he can just tech to whatever he wants now, so this is going to be really difficult for Lucky.
Yep, a little Ling skirmish there at the bottom of the map. They do pick off the Reaper and a couple of Hellions, so that takes at least some of the map control back away from Puma. And with this many units out on the map, Puma probably going to sit in his base at least until he gets some bio upgrades. He's got no stim, he's got no combat shields. He's moving as if he wants to secure his 3rd, but I do not expect him to push across the map. That would be a little silly right now.
We have 4 gas now for Lucky, so he's getting a ton of gas, and the Puma with the orbital command headed over towards the 3rd mineral line. Finally the lead tech for Lucky, 84 supply against 75, and already the double upgrades for the Terran player. We see them for Lucky as well. He started with the evolution chambers as pointed out earlier. And the one thing that I'm a little bit surprised about is that Lucky doesn't have any creep spread at all. This is the one thing that he did really well in every single game so far. But this time, and especially in Antigua Shipyard, where it's really important to have the creep spread between the 3 bases, he lacks it completely.
Yeah. Puma looks like he's just going to play Turtle Terran, man. He's going to sit back, secure these this 3-base economy. He's adding more racks, adding another factory, getting his armory down so that he can continue to upgrade. Everything Puma's doing looks very, very solid, and I'm guessing we're going to see some sort of mid-game timing, either with 1-1 or maybe even a little bit later with about 150, 160 supply.
The funny thing is that Lucky is actually getting rid of every set of rocks on the entire map. He has roaches everywhere. He's killing rocks left, right, bottom, and center. And at the same time, I really love his overlord positioning. Just have a look at the surroundings of the map. He has overlords everywhere. Yeah. He knows that there will probably be a tank, well, a drop play coming by Puma, and he has overlords just all around the corners of the map. It's really impressive.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we were to zero in on things that players do wrong, we could nitpick everybody to death. But some things that Lucky has really impressed me with consistently, he's always got overlords in good spots every single game. So he's always able to spot drops. But just spotting a Puma drop is often not enough because he is so good at microing them and just making those drops so very effective.
The one thing that Puma should definitely do upon realizing how many overlords are scattered across the map is just build 1 or 2 Vikings in order to take them out. That would actually pose a big problem to Lucky. 128 supply against 122, by the way, so a roughly even supply. 2 upgrades now being researched for the Marines. Stim is not done yet. Whoa, those Zerglings surrounding every single one of them. Puma with a misstep.
What are you doing out in the middle of the map like that? Loses every single Marine. Units lost shows a huge win there for Lucky. 30 units lost on both sides, but much more costly in Puma's case. It drops him down to 110 supply against the 132 of his Zerg opponent. And Lucky's got to be loving that exchange.
The one thing that you usually do if you push out in the middle of the game, and especially if it's only with a Marine force, you just try to scan ahead in order to have a good knowledge about where your opponent's army is positioned. This is so important for the Terran player, especially against Zerg, but we didn't see the scan going off for Puma, so he ran right into Lucky's army and he paid the price. He lost every single Marine. With the Baneling Nest now, the Hive Tech for Zerg, and +2/+2 going for Burrow. The Infestors are lined up. Puma still with roughly the same supply, and here we go, starting the drop play, and he will realize soon enough that there are a ton of Overlords scattered across the map.
Yes, sir. 2 upgrades halfway done on both sides of the map. Puma right now producing siege tanks 2 at a time, Marines 9 at a time. and even getting out a couple of medevacs. Hive also about to finish for Lucky, 160 supply for the ZerG player, 150 supply for Puma. So in spite of losing those initial Marines, his great economy has allowed him to keep up expertly here on Antigua Shipyard. Fourth base is down for Lucky. There's a medevac in the vicinity to drop it, but because of this beautiful Overlord spread, Lucky's more than prepared.
Headed straight into the Spore Crawler and the 2 Spine Crawlers, so Puma not really paying attention. At the same time, we have another engagement in the middle of the map. Nice funnels going off for Lucky, and this time he might be able to crush this force, but no, the siege tanks in the back throwing down the army of Lucky is just incredible. Once again, Puma.
Oh man, Puma's still dropping. He's dropping to third base now, so he was dropping the main, dropping the third, pushing the middle all at the same time. That's triple-pronged aggression, guys. That is so impressive. This Korean Terran is just absolutely top-notch. What a great player.
Puma is now sieging up in the middle of the map, and this is a position that is really strong for Terran. As soon as they are able to throw down the planetary fortress in the middle of the map and taking 2 additional expansions, this is a really nice position to be in. We have Lucky with an attempt to run by, and it really pays off that he killed these rocks earlier, trying to take down at least the sensor tower. That's the one thing that he's able to achieve, but then the Marines are there to save the day.
Yep, sensor tower goes down. I guess that's a pretty good exchange. I mean, sensor towers are kind of expensive. They cost a little gas. But, whoa, look at this. Again, multi-pronged aggression from Puma, pushing the left side of the map with a couple of Marines. Those rocks not being there means Lucky can get there oh so quickly, though. Meanwhile, Puma is continuing to reinforce his position in the middle of the map, putting down bunkers now, along with these siege tanks. I'm sure he'll add some turrets as well, so that things like burrowed infestors are a non-issue. Look at the upgrades. Look at the production tab for Lucky. 3-3, chitinous plating, adrenal glands, all finishing up very well upgraded. This ZerG army. Puma continuing to push.
Drop at the bottom at the same time, not doing anything at all, but this attack to the left side of the map is definitely killing one of the hatcheries. Lucky is on 3 base, and this is exactly the problem that we've been talking about earlier. Taking the 4th base is so difficult.
Puma, finish it off, man! Leaves the hatchery at 26 HP. What? What? Okay, so a little bit of charity there for the from EG Puma, showing that the evil geniuses actually do give back every now and then.
He still didn't realize that he did not kill the hatch, and well, Lucky is mining. He's mining from this base. Puma once again trying to put a little pressure on. He has the 4th base ready. The planetary fortress tech is nearly done. +3/+3 about to finish for a ZerG player. Puma lined up the upgrades as well, and they're still finally a bunch of Marines taking it down.
We'll stem, run over there and pick off this hatchery. Puma's got a great position in the middle of the map. This is one of the frustrating things to deal with for ZerG players against Terran. And this is so hard to break with Ultras. You really need Broodlords to get through here because you've got to come up a ramp, you've got to deal with some narrow chokes, tanks are in good positions, and Puma's going to take so much damage before he actually gets into a fight. So breaking that going to be very, very hard. Counterattacking, though, is something that he should definitely consider. He could counter around the right side of the map and do some big damage. Drops in the main, Nidus in the main. Look, there's dark space in Puma's main base. A Nidus would work here at the edge.
And we have now Puma with a very nice defensive play. He's going to build a command center and upgrade it to a planetary fortress in order to obstruct the path for additional Ultralisk attacks. I kind of like it. 17 Banelings are being built now for Lucky, and I have the feeling that he's trying to attack into the tanks again. I really hope that he doesn't do it. He can't engage the high ground. It is literally impossible, in my opinion, to attack up on the high ground with all those siege tanks scattered across the area. He would need perfect funnels to pull it off.
Yeah. Lucky is expanding now down to the bottom right-hand main base as he continues to... I don't know what he's actually going to try to do here. Looks like he's going to work his way up towards the left side of the map, maybe try to engage from the left. Oh, look at this. He's going to make a big surround. He's going to go from both sides. And we'll see if it's actually able to work. Puma's doing a good job of keeping track of the army, scanning all over it, sees it very well spread out, so he's going to have a good feel for this impending attack. And here we go. Ultras, Banelings, Lings, and Infestors from every possible angle. Lucky just going to go for it. Stim going down on those Marines. Ultras crashing into the tanks, coming in from every angle, but Puma is just so well positioned. Look at the supplies. Lucky's supply just plummets, and I ask once again, why, Kaldor?
GG, the game is over. Puma takes the 3rd place at the Asus ROG. Lucky, the 4th. The bronze match won by the Terran player with 3-0.
And 3-0 for Puma, very, very well played. Lucky maybe questionably choosing to attack.